only one that knew a pandemic was coming was a guy named Bill Gates. Everybody else is like,
well, yeah, but here's the thing. You don't know. That's true. And I think there was a lot of uncertainty in March of 2020. The question is, what about November of 2020, December, January of 2020?
What should he have done? What should he have done?
He should have fired Fauci. He should have held these people accountable for being wrong, for lying to the public on all these different issues. The corrupt medical swamp in D.C. was a total disaster. I'll tell you what they also shouldn't have done. January of 2021, last few weeks in office, they're sending me missives from the White House task force saying, impose a mask mandate, close restaurants. And I'm just thinking to myself, and the media here would use it as fodder. They would say, DeSantis is not following the Trump White House task force. And I wasn't. That's true. But the media used that as a wedge. So I think that the whole Fauci, and here's I think the issue for the election going forward is I'm the only one running that is talking about bringing accountability for what happened to this country during COVID. It's one thing to make a judgment call that's wrong, but it's another thing to ignore evidence. It's another thing to lie. When you tell people like CDC did that if you take an mRNA shot, you will not get COVID, and you still stand by that when it's obvious that people are getting it, when you're having the FDA approve an mRNA shot for 6-month-old babies where there's no evidence that that's benefiting them.
The gentleman is recognized for 1 minute.
Madam Speaker, Dr. Fauci has forsaken his Hippocratic oath and exchanged it for the mantle of unchecked power. His policies shuttered the U.S. economy, drove our country into financial upheaval, and violated the rights of millions of Americans. In July, he willfully lied to the U.S. Senate about his role in funding gain-of-function research in Wuhan, China. This week, the world was shocked to discover that through an experiment under his watch, sweet beagle puppies had their heads stuffed into crates so that sandflies could slowly strip away the skin from their bones. These defenseless animals were damned to agonize in silence, because their vocal cords had been surgically ripped from their throats so that their tormentors could discharge their evil actions without having to hear incessant yapping. Madam Speaker, today I am calling for the creation of a formal commission to investigate the true origin of COVID-19, the role Fauci played in its creation, the false statements he made to members of Congress under oath, and why the hell Americans are funding the torture of puppies in Africa. Americans deserve the truth, and this demon doctor must never be allowed to escape justice. With that, I yield back.
For what purpose is
now, Congresswoman Nancy Mace. Congresswoman, you're leading the bipartisan group of 14 lawmakers. You guys sent a letter to Dr. Anthony Fauci demanding he stop animal cruelty at his agency. Can you explain what's going on?
Yeah, thank you so much, Liz. A few weeks ago, I learned about these experiments that were going on under Dr. Fauci's leadership at the NIH, under the NIAID. We've spent most recently $1.7 million. We took 44 beagle puppies. We didn't do this experiment here in the United States. We did it overseas, of course, because we would never allow this. But we spent our taxpayer money to take out these puppies' vocal cords. We then had them drugged, killed, and dissected, all in the name of science. It's horrific, it's gruesome, it's disgusting, and should not be happening with American money at all. And we actually have 24 lawmakers on the letter now. We have 9 Democrats and the rest are Republican. And it's shameful and it's disgusting.
So it's growing. So there's more growing bipartisan pushback. And we haven't heard yet from Dr. Fauci weighing in on this, but the NIH funds at least $19 billion of experiments on animals a year. It's cruel and horrific animal experimentation on dogs and primates. It's been going on for decades. And apparently, the FDA apparently is saying this is all unnecessary, that this does not require animal testing for new drugs. This is useless because there's physiological differences between animals and human beings. And when the drugs show up in human clinical trials, a lot of the time, the drugs fail.
Right, totally useless according to the FDA. And the more I learn about these kinds of experiments, the worse it gets. I'm learning about monkeys that are being frightened to death, mice that were addicting to cocaine. Also part of this story, there was another $500,000 that was used, again, to take beagle puppies and allow them to be eaten alive from the neck up by insects. Like, what the hell are we doing with our money here? It makes no sense. And, if we thought we didn't trust Dr. Fauci with gain-of-function research and all the lies that we're told, well, look what's happening now that we're learning all about all of this. So if this is what brings our country together to fire Fauci, then I'm here for it. We got to work together and make this happen.
Let's listen to Senator Rand Paul on what you just spoke about. Watch this.
Well, he should be fired. I mean, the thing is,
Dr. Fauci should be fired.
Absolutely.
By the president.
Absolutely. The thing is just for lack of judgment, if nothing else. He's probably never going to admit that he lied. He's going to continue to dissemble and try to work around the truth and massage the truth.
So, did you hear that last part? That he'll work around the truth and dissemble. What do you say to that?
He's going to massage the truth, Liz.
Yeah.
We've seen that. But God bless Senator Rand Paul. He's been on the front of hammering Dr. Fauci on the many lies that he has told the American people during COVID-19. I'm still awaiting a response from Dr. Fauci and the NIH, and when we have it, you're definitely going to know about it and hear about it.
All right. Congresswoman Nancy Mace, thanks for joining us. You'll come back on again.